the feminist too.
Mr. Speaker.
David Seymour.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, it gives me great pleasure to finally be here, not least of all because of the irritation that it causes to some members that I am indeed here. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to tell you that it may come as a surprise to you, I actually have something in common with the Right Honourable Winston Peters. We both have a monopoly on intellect within our caucus, Mr. Speaker. That is unfortunately a fact. Let's face it, what exactly is the job description for being I am the Deputy Leader of New Zealand First, Mr. Speaker? Well, she's not here because she got bored designing rockets at NASA. I can tell you that much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm especially proud to be here standing for the ACT Party in the third freest economy that this world has ever seen. It's no coincidence that where's your seat, Winston? How exactly is Tauranga? How are the people of Tauranga treating you these days? Not so well, not so well. There's not a seat in this country that you could win.
Oh. Order.
Reluctant as I am,
Order.
Speaker.
Order. Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
The standing order requires someone not to use a person's first name or his second name, actually, but to call him an honourable member, in my case, a very honourable member, but he can't say that.
Order. Order. The member did casually refer to the Minister by his Christian name, and that is certainly out of order. David Seymour.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Thank you very much for that guidance into the etiquette of the House. For that I'm extremely grateful to the member. But I was saying that I'm very, very proud to stand for the ACT Party in New Zealand, the freest economy that the world has ever seen, apart from a couple of small city-states, and by no coincidence, also the most vibrant, intelligent and interesting society that the world's ever seen, except perhaps with a few exceptions, which I won't name for fear of breaching standing orders. Mr. Speaker, I also want to address myself to some of the traditional members opposite, because I feel that perhaps at a slightly different time or age, I could have been one of them, and they're thinking I'm talking about maybe, you know, around the time of my birth, but actually, by surprise, I was thinking about even earlier than that, and in particular, one Mickey Savage, I assume you can call him that since he's no longer here, and Peter Fraser. And Peter Fraser once famously said that it was the government's role to provide people, whether or not they were rich or poor, from town or country, male or female, and of whatever race, to an education that would best help them achieve their goals. And that is something to which I am deeply committed. And I am deeply committed to the partnership school kura horua policy. And anybody who finds themselves to be a sceptic of that policy should actually go and visit the schools and not go on Radio Live and lie about whether they've been to the schools. They should actually go and visit the schools, not the private school that was previously operated by the sponsor, but actually go and visit the school. I find that's the best antidote. Well, we're very pleased that some members have, and you should keep visiting them until you change your mind. I know it can take a long time. Anyway, I am very proud of that policy because it is giving kids who have been failed elsewhere an opportunity to learn, to get qualifications, to have skills, to have a career. I haven't been to Antarctica either, but I know it's cold, just to borrow something from across the house. And those kids who end up in a situation where they can ultimately feel good about themselves. And that is the promise that Peter Fraser made, and that is the promise that I am committed to helping fulfil for the children of New Zealand. And it's a pity that so many people on the other side of the House are so much more worried about the means that we use to achieve the ends rather than the ends themselves. And hasn't that come out in the nastiness of recent press releases from the member sitting at the back there? So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I'm very proud to be here with ACT and a free society and with a policy that uses the principles of markets and a free society to actually achieve some of the ends that members opposite supposedly believe in, or at least in which their predecessors believe very strongly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.